Friends, if you are excited to watch the much-awaited and highly anticipated movie Eden, releasing in 2025 in English, then you have absolutely come to the right place. And if this is your first time visiting our channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on any updates, movie news, reviews, or insider information about the latest films hitting screens near you. In today's video, we are going to take a complete deep dive into Eden, covering everything from the basic idea of the movie to all the interesting and lesser-known details that make this film so special and worth watching. I'll tell you exactly where you can watch Eden, whether it's available on popular OTT platforms or on specific satellite channels, so that you have all the options and don't have to waste time searching online. But that's just the beginning. We will also explore the technical aspects of the movie in detail, including the direction, cinematography, special effects, and editing that make the visuals so stunning. We'll also talk about the music, the background score, and the sound design that enhances the overall cinematic experience and brings the story to life in a powerful way. On top of that, we'll discuss the journey of the movie from pre-production, including script development and casting, to filming, where the scenes were shot, the challenges faced on set, and the unique creative decisions made during post-production. We will also look at the budget, the box office collection, and how the movie is performing commercially, giving you a complete picture of its success and impact. Of course, we will go into the story of Eden in detail, highlighting the plot, the twists, the dramatic moments, and I'll give you a mini review so you can understand why this movie has generated so much buzz even before its release. Beyond the story, we'll discuss fascinating facts about the film, the star-studded cast, the characters they portray, the performances of each actor, and which roles truly shine on screen. We'll also touch upon behind-the-scenes secrets, interesting trivia, and the elements that make Eden stand out from other movies. So if you are a movie lover and want a complete, detailed, and fun guide to Eden in 2025, stay with us till the very end of this video because we are covering everything, from the storyline to the actors, the production details, the music, the technical brilliance, and all the little pieces of information that make this movie a must-watch for anyone who enjoys great cinema. Let's get started and step into the exciting world of Eden, a movie that promises to be an unforgettable experience for audiences everywhere. The story of Eden in 2025 begins by immersing the audience into a world that is at once familiar yet tinged with subtle strangeness, immediately capturing attention and curiosity. From the opening scenes, we are introduced to the central characters and their everyday lives. But even in these early moments, the film hints at underlying tensions and conflicts that promise to unfold as the story progresses. Eden does not rely solely on a linear narrative. It experiments with time, perspective, and storytelling techniques, occasionally shifting between past and present to reveal character backstories, hidden motivations, and crucial information that changes how we understand their decisions. Early plot points establish personal and societal stakes, giving viewers insight into the challenges, desires, and vulnerabilities of each character. As the narrative unfolds, we see relationships tested, alliances formed and broken, and secrets revealed, with key turning points strategically placed to heighten suspense and emotional engagement. Conflicts in Eden are multi-layered, encompassing not only external struggles, such as threats from antagonists or challenging circumstances, but also internal conflicts, where characters wrestle with fear, guilt, ambition, love, and moral dilemmas, making their journeys deeply relatable and compelling. The story moves fluidly between moments of tension and moments of quiet reflection, blending high-stakes action sequences with intimate character-driven scenes that allow the audience to connect emotionally with the people on screen. Eden also plays with perspective, sometimes showing events through different characters' eyes or using shifts in narrative focus to provide context and surprise, keeping the viewer actively engaged and questioning assumptions. Themes of identity, choice, consequence, and human resilience are woven throughout the plot, giving the story a layered and thought-provoking quality without slowing down the momentum. Every major event, whether a shocking betrayal, a sudden revelation, or a heartfelt confession, serves to advance both the narrative and the character arcs, making each scene meaningful and impactful. The pacing is carefully calibrated. Slower, reflective moments provide breathing space and emotional depth, while faster, tension-filled sequences build excitement and anticipation. As the film progresses toward its climax, multiple threads of the story converge in unexpected ways, creating a rich tapestry of interconnected events and character decisions. Along the way, Eden surprises the audience with twists that challenge expectations, deepening the engagement and encouraging viewers to rethink what they assumed about the characters and their world. Emotional stakes are consistently high, with moments of triumph, heartbreak, and revelation crafted to leave a lasting impression and evoke empathy. The narrative also emphasizes character growth, showing how experiences, choices, and interactions transform the protagonists over time, resulting in arcs that feel earned and satisfying. By the end of the movie, the story ties together its various threads in a way that resonates emotionally and thematically, leaving viewers with a sense of completion while still inviting reflection on the broader implications of the characters' journeys. Overall, Eden's storytelling is dynamic, immersive, and layered, combining action, drama, emotion, and suspense in a way that keeps the audience engaged from the first frame to the last, offering a cinematic experience that is both entertaining and thought-provoking. In Eden 2025, the characters are far from one-dimensional. They are carefully crafted, layered, and constantly evolving, which makes the story much more engaging and immersive. From the very beginning, the film takes time to establish who the characters are, what drives them, and the challenges they face, giving the audience a clear sense of their personalities, desires, and fears. Each character has distinct motivations that shape their decisions and interactions, and as the narrative progresses, these motivations are tested in ways that reveal deeper layers of their personalities. Some characters start off seeming straightforward, but through conflicts, choices, and surprising twists, we see them wrestle with inner turmoil, moral dilemmas, or unexpected emotions, which allows viewers to connect with them on a human level. Relationships between characters are central to the film, ranging from alliances and friendships to rivalries and betrayals, and these dynamics evolve organically, often creating tension, humor, or poignant moments that add richness to the narrative. Character arcs are carefully constructed, so we witness meaningful growth and transformation over the course of the story. Some characters become stronger or wiser, others confront their flaws or fears, and a few face circumstances that challenge their very identity, pushing them to adapt or rethink their choices. The way these arcs intersect with one another also shapes the overall story, creating ripple effects where the actions of one character influence the journey of another, adding complexity and depth to the plot. Eden also explores contrasts and contradictions within characters, showing that people can be brave yet vulnerable, selfish yet caring, or flawed yet capable of heroism, which keeps the audience guessing and emotionally invested. Even secondary and supporting characters are given attention, with moments that highlight their personalities, motivations, and contributions to the story, ensuring that no one feels underdeveloped or unnecessary. Emotional stakes are heightened because viewers not only understand what the characters want but also empathize with the struggles they endure and the decisions they are forced to make. Through conflicts, alliances, and pivotal choices, the characters' evolution is evident, and their growth often mirrors or contrasts with the themes of the story, such as identity, consequence, resilience, and moral complexity. By the end of Eden, the audience has witnessed a wide spectrum of human experiences reflected in the characters' journeys, from triumphs and failures to realizations and transformations, all of which combine to create a narrative that feels alive, dynamic, and emotionally resonant. The richness of character development ensures that the story is not just about events unfolding but about the people experiencing them, making Eden a film that resonates long after the credits roll. In Eden 2025, the performances of the actors are nothing short of remarkable, and they play a pivotal role in bringing the story and characters to life in a way that is both believable and emotionally engaging. From the very first scene, the lead actors immerse themselves completely in their roles, presenting characters that feel multidimensional, layered, and relatable. Their portrayal captures a wide spectrum of emotions, from moments of quiet introspection to scenes filled with tension, heartbreak, or joy, all executed with a natural authenticity that makes the audience feel deeply connected to their journey. The leads do not just recite lines or act out situations, they embody the essence of their characters, conveying subtle internal conflicts, hidden motivations, and emotional complexities that go beyond the script. Every gesture, facial expression, and tone shift feels intentional and meaningful, enhancing the narrative without ever feeling forced. The supporting cast complements the leads beautifully, adding depth and texture to the film by creating interactions that feel organic and unscripted. These actors bring secondary characters to life with distinctive traits, quirks, and emotional stakes, making every interaction resonate and ensuring that no part of the story world feels empty or superficial. What truly stands out in Eden is the way the actors handle moments of emotional intensity. Key scenes involving betrayal, revelation, confrontation, or moral conflict are elevated by the skill of the performers, who manage to convey tension and stakes without overacting. Emotional arcs are portrayed with precision and care, allowing the audience to follow each character's growth, transformation, and internal struggle in a convincing manner. The chemistry between actors is another standout element. Whether it is the bond between friends, the tension between rivals, or the intimate connection between romantic leads, the performances create a palpable sense of realism that draws viewers fully into the story. Even smaller, subtle moments, like fleeting glances, pauses in dialogue, or understated reactions, are executed in ways that reveal layers of character and deepen the emotional impact. In addition to the main characters, the ensemble cast shines in creating a believable world where every role, no matter how minor, contributes meaningfully to the story. Certain standout performances bring a level of charisma, intensity, or vulnerability that lingers long after the scene ends, giving key moments additional weight and memorability. The actors' dedication to their roles enhances not only the drama and emotional depth of Eden but also the tension, pacing, and overall storytelling, making even ordinary scenes feel charged with significance. From dynamic interactions and heart-wrenching confrontations to moments of subtle humor or quiet reflection, the performances in Eden are layered, nuanced, and compelling, elevating the entire film and ensuring that audiences remain engaged and invested in the characters' journeys from the very first frame to the final scene. Every actor, from the leads to the smallest supporting role, contributes to a cohesive and immersive cinematic experience, and together, their performances make Eden 2025 not just a story to watch but an experience to feel, connecting the audience deeply to the emotions, struggles, and triumphs of the characters on screen. In Eden 2025, the director's vision is at the heart of the film, shaping every element from tone and mood to pacing and visual storytelling in a way that makes the movie feel cohesive, dynamic, and immersive. From the opening sequence, it's clear that the director has a strong command over the world of Eden, setting up a tone that is simultaneously gripping, mysterious, and emotionally engaging. The choices in lighting, color palettes, and set design immediately create a mood that reflects the story's themes and the inner lives of the characters, whether it's tension, suspense, hope, or melancholy. The director's approach to shot composition is meticulous, with each frame carefully crafted to enhance the narrative and draw the viewer's attention to key details, whether through wide establishing shots that give a sense of scale, intimate close-ups that capture nuanced emotions, or dynamic camera movements that heighten action and urgency. Pacing is another area where the director's influence is strongly felt. The film balances slower, character-driven moments with sequences of high tension, ensuring the audience has time to connect with the story and characters while keeping momentum and engagement consistent throughout. Stylistic choices, such as unconventional angles, lighting contrasts, or subtle visual motifs, are used thoughtfully to reinforce themes, foreshadow events, or heighten dramatic impact, giving the film a distinctive cinematic personality that sets it apart. The director also handles transitions between scenes and shifts in time or perspective with finesse, allowing the narrative to flow smoothly even when experimenting with non-linear storytelling or complex character arcs. Dialogue scenes are framed in ways that highlight relationships and emotional tension, while action sequences are choreographed and shot to maximize excitement without sacrificing clarity or coherence. Additionally, the director demonstrates a clear understanding of how music, sound design, and ambient elements interact with visual storytelling, using audio cues to amplify suspense, emphasize emotional beats, and enhance the immersive quality of the film. One of the remarkable aspects of Eden's direction is how it balances spectacle with subtlety, ensuring that neither visuals nor narrative elements overpower one another, but instead work together to create a unified cinematic experience. By carefully orchestrating performances, visuals, pacing, and narrative structure, the director guides the audience through a story that is both entertaining and emotionally resonant, creating tension, curiosity, and connection with the characters at every turn. The way the director handles tone and mood ensures that Eden never feels monotonous. Each scene carries a purpose, a rhythm, and a visual or emotional cue that keeps viewers invested. From small, intimate moments of character reflection to large, visually striking sequences, the direction consistently enhances the impact of the story, providing both clarity and artistic flair. Overall, the director's vision is evident in every detail, from the way scenes are blocked to the rhythm of storytelling, the choice of angles, the integration of sound and music, and the careful modulation of tension and emotion, making Eden 2025 not just a film to watch but an experience that feels deliberately shaped, immersive, and uniquely engaging, leaving a lasting impression long after the credits roll. In Eden 2025, the cinematography plays a crucial role in shaping the way the story is experienced, turning each scene into a visually compelling and emotionally resonant moment. From the very opening frames, the camera work immediately draws the audience into the world of the film, using carefully chosen angles, movements, and compositions to establish mood, perspective, and scale. Wide shots are employed to showcase the grandeur of settings, giving viewers a sense of place and context, while close-ups capture the subtle emotions and nuances of the characters, allowing the audience to connect intimately with their thoughts and feelings. Lighting is used not just to illuminate the scene but as a storytelling device in itself, highlighting tension, creating mystery, or emphasizing thematic elements. For example, shadows may be strategically cast to evoke uncertainty or danger, while warm, soft lighting can signal intimacy or hope. The framing of each shot is deliberate, often placing characters within their environments in ways that reflect their relationships, internal struggles, or the narrative stakes, subtly guiding the viewer's focus without ever feeling intrusive. Camera movements, whether sweeping pans, dynamic tracking shots, or carefully controlled handheld sequences, add rhythm and energy to the film, enhancing action sequences, building suspense, or drawing attention to key narrative details. There are visually striking moments throughout Eden that linger in the mind, from expansive landscapes that set the tone and scale of the story, to meticulously composed sequences that balance movement, lighting, and emotion in perfect harmony. The cinematography also enhances tension, often framing scenes to create a sense of claustrophobia or anticipation, while other times it opens up the frame to provide relief or a sense of freedom, mirroring the emotional beats of the story. Color palettes are used thoughtfully to reinforce mood, theme, or character perspective, subtly shifting across scenes to reflect changes in tone or narrative progression. Even in quieter, dialogue-driven scenes, the cinematography works in tandem with the performances, using focus, depth of field, and composition to accentuate the emotional weight of interactions and bring out layers of meaning in subtle ways. Throughout the film, the combination of camera angles, lighting, framing, and movement transforms each scene into a cinematic experience, where every visual choice adds to the storytelling, deepens immersion, and amplifies the emotional impact of the narrative. In Eden, cinematography is not just about creating beautiful images, it's about using visual language to convey emotion, tension, and thematic resonance, making the audience feel as though they are moving through the world of the film alongside the characters, experiencing every moment with clarity, intensity, and aesthetic pleasure. Every shot is carefully crafted to contribute to the story's rhythm, atmosphere, and impact, resulting in a visual narrative that is as engaging, dynamic, and layered as the story it tells, turning Eden 2025 into a truly immersive cinematic experience. In Eden 2025, the editing plays a crucial role in shaping how the story unfolds and how the audience experiences the film, creating a rhythm that keeps viewers engaged from start to finish. The flow of the movie is carefully managed, with transitions between scenes feeling natural and purposeful, allowing the narrative to move smoothly without jarring interruptions or confusing jumps. The editors have crafted sequences in a way that balances tension, emotion, and exposition, ensuring that each scene has enough time to breathe while maintaining forward momentum. Action sequences are tightly cut to maximize intensity and excitement, with precise timing that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats, while quieter, character-driven moments are given more space, allowing emotions to resonate and relationships to develop organically. Pacing is thoughtfully varied across the film, with faster sequences generating adrenaline and suspense, and slower sequences providing introspection, depth, or reflection, creating a rhythm that mirrors the emotional journey of the characters. The editing also plays a key role in how information is revealed to the audience, with carefully timed cuts and transitions that enhance suspense, create surprise, or emphasize dramatic beats, keeping viewers actively engaged in the story. Cross-cutting between parallel storylines or different perspectives is handled skillfully, ensuring that multiple threads of the narrative are woven together cohesively, so the audience can follow the complexity of the plot without feeling lost. Even the placement of reaction shots, the timing of dialogue exchanges, and the intercutting of visual motifs contribute to the overall storytelling, adding layers of meaning and reinforcing emotional and thematic impact. Moments of tension are heightened by the rhythm of cuts, with quick edits during suspenseful or action-filled scenes amplifying urgency, while lingering shots during intimate or reflective moments allow the audience to absorb subtle emotional cues. Transitions between flashbacks, present-day events, or different character perspectives are seamless, helping maintain narrative clarity while supporting Eden's occasional experimentation with non-linear storytelling. The editors have also paid attention to the flow of the soundtrack, ensuring that musical cues and sound design integrate smoothly with visual cuts, enhancing both mood and pacing. Overall, the editing and pacing in Eden work together to create a cinematic rhythm that engages viewers, directs attention, emphasizes key emotional beats, and guides the audience through the story with precision. By controlling the timing, sequence, and flow of scenes, the editing transforms the film into an experience that feels cohesive, dynamic, and emotionally resonant, making sure that every moment, from high-intensity action to quiet reflection, has the desired impact on the viewer and contributes to the overall narrative journey of the film. In Eden 2025, the soundtrack and musical score play a central and transformative role in shaping the film's atmosphere, emotional depth, and overall immersive experience, acting almost like an additional character that guides the audience through every moment of the story. Right from the opening scenes, the music sets the tone, instantly signaling the mood and emotional stakes of the film, whether it is an intimate, reflective moment, a suspenseful build-up, or a large-scale, visually stunning sequence. The score is layered, thoughtfully composed, and intricately tailored to the narrative, blending sweeping orchestral themes, subtle instrumental motifs, and contemporary sounds to match the ever-shifting tone of the story. One of the most impressive aspects of the music in Eden is its ability to adapt seamlessly to different sequences, whether it is heightening tension during fast-paced action scenes, underscoring emotional confrontations between characters, or adding a sense of wonder and scale to visually striking moments. Recurring motifs appear throughout the film, acting almost like narrative anchors, subtly reminding the audience of a character's internal struggle, a lingering threat, or a thematic connection between different storylines, which enhances cohesion and adds a layer of emotional resonance. The composer also uses silence with remarkable precision, creating pauses that allow the audience to absorb critical moments, focus on performances, or anticipate what might happen next, making these quiet intervals as powerful as the most dramatic musical swells. In emotionally charged scenes, the score enhances the impact of dialogue and visual storytelling, often emphasizing unspoken feelings, tension, or anticipation, while in action sequences, the rhythm, tempo, and intensity of the music amplify the urgency, energy, and stakes, making viewers feel as though they are part of the unfolding events. Beyond the obvious emotional cues, the soundtrack also interacts with the cinematography and editing, accentuating visual motifs, pacing, and scene transitions in ways that feel natural and organic, rather than overwhelming or artificial. Subtle instrumental textures, layered harmonies, and carefully chosen instruments are used to reflect the tone of individual characters, their psychological states, and the shifting dynamics between them, giving the music an almost narrative function in addition to its emotional role. Certain compositions stand out as memorable, leaving a lasting impression through evocative melodies, dynamic crescendos, or haunting refrains that linger long after the scene has ended, creating a musical identity that becomes inseparable from the film itself. The soundtrack also contributes to world building, providing an oral texture that immerses viewers in the environment, from grand, sweeping landscapes to intimate interiors, making each scene feel alive and atmospheric. Sound design and score are carefully integrated, with environmental sounds, ambient effects, and musical cues working in harmony to create a complete sensory experience that pulls the audience deeper into the narrative. The music's ebb and flow mirrors the emotional and narrative rhythms of the story, guiding the audience through suspense, revelation, conflict, and resolution while reinforcing the thematic undercurrents of Eden, such as identity, resilience, and moral choice. By balancing dramatic, sweeping compositions with quiet, introspective moments and strategically placed silence, the soundtrack elevates the emotional resonance of every scene, intensifies the suspense, and highlights the subtleties of character interactions. Ultimately, Eden's soundtrack and score do more than accompany the visuals. They enhance the storytelling, amplify emotional beats, reinforce narrative motifs, and create a cohesive, immersive cinematic experience where every note, pause, and motif contributes to the power, tension, and beauty of the film, making it an unforgettable auditory journey that complements and enriches the narrative, the performances, and the visual artistry throughout. In Eden 2025, the themes and underlying messages are woven thoughtfully into every aspect of the film, giving it depth and resonance that goes beyond the immediate story or spectacle. At its core, the movie explores ideas about identity, choice, and the consequences of actions, presenting characters who are constantly faced with decisions that test their morals, values, and resilience. The narrative delves into the human experience, showing how personal ambitions, fears, and desires intersect with external circumstances to shape the paths people take, often in ways that are unpredictable and thought-provoking. One of the most prominent themes is the exploration of resilience and growth. Characters encounter challenges and setbacks that force them to confront their own limitations, learn from their mistakes, and evolve, reflecting a universal idea about the necessity of struggle in personal development. The film also touches on complex social and ethical questions, such as the impact of one's actions on others, the nature of responsibility, and the blurred lines between right and wrong, prompting the audience to reflect on the choices they themselves might make in similar circumstances. Relationships and human connections are central to the thematic fabric of Eden, highlighting how trust, betrayal, loyalty, and empathy influence the trajectory of both individuals and the broader story, while also reinforcing the idea that human interactions are never simple or one-dimensional. Another compelling aspect is how Eden examines the consequences of secrets, lies, and misunderstandings, demonstrating that hidden motives and undisclosed truths can create ripple effects that shape events and relationships in profound ways. Themes of courage, sacrifice, and moral complexity run throughout the film, presented through character actions, dialogue, and pivotal plot points, without ever feeling didactic or forced, instead emerging naturally from the narrative and the situations the characters face. The movie also explores more subtle ideas, such as self-discovery, personal accountability, and the tension between societal expectations and individual desires, offering layers of meaning that reward attentive viewers. Symbolism and visual motifs further reinforce these themes, with certain objects, settings, or recurring imagery echoing ideas of struggle, transformation, or duality, adding depth and nuance to the storytelling. Even the emotional arcs of the characters are tied to thematic exploration, as their growth, failures, and triumphs reflect the broader messages the film seeks to convey about resilience, morality, and human connection. The interplay between plot, character development, and thematic elements ensures that the messages are embedded seamlessly in the narrative rather than imposed externally, making them feel authentic, thought-provoking, and emotionally impactful. By the time the story reaches key turning points and climactic moments, the audience has been subtly guided to consider the implications of choices, relationships, and ethical dilemmas, leaving a lasting impression that extends beyond the screen. Eden 2025 succeeds in creating a thematic tapestry where the ideas of identity, consequence, resilience, morality, and human connection are explored with depth, care, and subtlety, inviting viewers to not only follow the story but also engage with the underlying questions and reflections it poses about life, human nature, and the complexity of decisions in an unpredictable world. In Eden 2025, the visual effects and CGI play a vital role in creating a world that feels expansive, immersive, and alive, seamlessly blending with the practical elements of the film to elevate the storytelling without ever feeling forced or distracting. From the earliest scenes, it's clear that a great deal of care has gone into integrating digital effects with real-world environments, props, and sets, creating a cohesive visual landscape where fantastical or heightened elements coexist naturally with grounded, tangible surroundings. The CGI is used not just for spectacle but as a storytelling tool, enhancing the impact of action sequences, world-building, and character moments, while supporting the narrative rather than overshadowing it. Practical effects are skillfully combined with digital enhancements, creating a tactile realism that makes even the most extraordinary moments feel believable. For instance, physical stunts, prosthetics, or set pieces often interact with CGI elements to produce sequences that feel both dynamic and authentic. The effects team has clearly paid attention to the details, from realistic lighting and texture in CGI creations to fluid motion and interaction with actors, which prevents the digital elements from feeling artificial or out of place. In action scenes, the visual effects amplify tension and excitement, allowing for sequences that push the boundaries of scale, movement, and spectacle, while in quieter or more intimate moments, subtle enhancements add depth and visual nuance without drawing attention away from the story or characters. Certain standout sequences showcase the impressive range of the effects, from grand, sweeping vistas that establish the scale of the world to intricate, close-up visual details that heighten immersion and reinforce character perspective. The blending of practical and digital effects is particularly effective in sequences involving environmental transformations, fantastical phenomena, or high-intensity action, where careful attention to continuity, lighting, and physics ensures that every element feels grounded in the film's universe. Even minor visual details, such as particle effects, atmospheric enhancements, or digital set extensions, contribute to a richer, more layered cinematic experience, enhancing the sense of realism and immersion. The visual effects also work in tandem with cinematography, editing, and sound design, ensuring that every frame maintains visual coherence and rhythm, and that transitions between practical and digital elements are seamless. By carefully calibrating the intensity, scope, and placement of effects, the filmmakers ensure that the CGI enhances rather than dominates the viewing experience, supporting the narrative, mood, and tone at every stage. In Eden 2025, visual effects and CGI are not just tools for spectacle. They are integral to world-building, character storytelling, and thematic expression, providing both awe-inspiring visuals and subtle enhancements that make the story feel fully realized. The combination of imaginative digital creations and tangible practical effects results in a cinematic experience where the extraordinary feels believable, immersive, and emotionally resonant, allowing audiences to be fully absorbed in the story without questioning the reality of the film's universe. Every effect, from the largest environmental transformation to the smallest digital detail, contributes to the overall impact, ensuring that the visual storytelling is as engaging, dynamic, and memorable as the plot, characters, and emotional beats of the film itself. In Eden 2025, the set design and locations are meticulously crafted, playing an essential role in building a world that feels both immersive and visually captivating, while also enhancing the story's emotional and thematic depth. From the very first scene, it's apparent that every environment, prop, and production choice has been carefully considered to reflect the narrative and the characters' inner lives, giving the audience a sense that this is a fully realized universe with its own rules, textures, and history. The film makes use of a variety of locations, ranging from intimate indoor spaces that reflect character personalities and emotional states, to expansive outdoor environments that establish scale, grandeur, and the broader stakes of the story. Each setting is rich in detail. Props, furniture, signage, textures, and subtle background elements are all strategically placed to create authenticity, convey story beats, or provide visual clues about the world and the characters inhabiting it. Production design is used cleverly to mirror narrative themes, whether through the color palette of a room that reflects a character's emotional state, the contrast between sterile, oppressive spaces and lush, open landscapes, or the juxtaposition of modern versus decayed structures to suggest history, tension, or transformation. Locations are not just backdrops. They actively interact with the story and the characters, shaping scenes and influencing the mood, tension, or drama. For example, confined, cluttered spaces create a sense of pressure or unease, while wide-open landscapes allow for moments of reflection, freedom, or spectacle, giving the audience both visual variety and emotional resonance. The attention to detail extends to the smallest elements, such as personal belongings, signage, or environmental touches, which subtly inform character backstories, motivations, and relationships without needing explicit exposition. Certain locations become almost characters themselves, with recurring spaces reinforcing narrative themes or emotional arcs, and carefully designed sets allowing for dynamic blocking and camera movement that make scenes visually engaging and dramatically effective. The seamless integration of real-world locations with constructed sets and digital extensions ensures that the visual storytelling remains cohesive, immersive, and believable, maintaining a sense of continuity across diverse environments. Even the transitions between locations are handled thoughtfully, with lighting, color, and production elements guiding the audience smoothly from one space to another while supporting the narrative rhythm. In Eden 2025, set design and location choices elevate the cinematic experience by providing a layered, tangible world where every object, texture, and backdrop contributes to storytelling, emotional tone, and thematic resonance. They create a visually compelling environment that feels lived in, purposeful, and emotionally connected to the characters and plot, ensuring that the audience is not merely observing the story but inhabiting its spaces, feeling the tension, wonder, or intimacy of each scene as though they are part of the world itself. The combination of thoughtful production design, carefully chosen locations, and detailed props enhances immersion, supports performances, complements cinematography, and reinforces the narrative, making the world of Eden 2025 as engaging, dynamic, and memorable as the story it tells and the characters who inhabit it. In Eden 2025, the dialogue and script are crafted with care, giving the film a voice that is engaging, natural, and emotionally resonant, while also providing moments of wit, tension, and memorable lines that linger long after the scene ends. The script balances exposition, character interaction, and dramatic beats in a way that feels organic, never forced, allowing the dialogue to reveal not only information about the plot but also the personalities, motivations, and inner conflicts of the characters. Characters speak in ways that feel authentic to their experiences, backgrounds, and emotional states, which helps the audience connect with them on a deeper level and invest in their journeys. Sharp, witty exchanges provide levity or highlight personality traits, while emotionally charged lines carry weight, emphasizing stakes, moral dilemmas, or the intensity of relationships between characters. Some lines are crafted to stand out, delivering insight, humor, or impact that defines key moments in the film and makes them memorable, contributing to the overall tone and pacing of the story. The script also plays with subtext, allowing characters to communicate layers of meaning without directly stating everything, which creates tension, intrigue, or subtle emotional resonance that rewards attentive viewers. Conflict and tension are heightened through dialogue, with well-timed arguments, confrontations, or exchanges that escalate drama naturally and propel the narrative forward, while quieter, Introspective moments use reflective or contemplative dialogue to reveal character depth and vulnerability. Beyond character development, the writing also enhances thematic resonance, with recurring ideas or lines subtly reinforcing central messages about identity, morality, resilience, and human connection. The interplay between dialogue and visual storytelling is carefully orchestrated, with lines punctuating key beats, complementing action, and supporting emotional arcs, ensuring that the script integrates seamlessly with cinematography, performances, and pacing. Humor, when present, is situational, character-driven, or cleverly placed to relieve tension without undermining the drama, while moments of tension or suspense are amplified through precise word choice, timing, and delivery. Eden's script also demonstrates an understanding of rhythm, using the length and pacing of dialogue to control scene flow, build anticipation, or provide emotional release. Even supporting characters contribute with dialogue that feels purposeful, revealing character, advancing the plot, or enhancing the tone, making the world of the film feel populated and alive. Overall, the dialogue and script in Eden 2025 are not only functional but artful, creating a balance between information, emotion, and entertainment, providing the actors with rich material to inhabit, and giving the audience lines that are memorable, impactful, and emotionally satisfying. Every conversation, confrontation, or quiet exchange serves the story, deepens character development, and reinforces the themes, resulting in a narrative voice that is compelling, dynamic, and fully immersive, keeping viewers engaged, entertained, and emotionally invested throughout the film. In Eden 2025, the film's approach to genre is both thoughtful and inventive, blending familiar conventions with fresh twists that keep the audience engaged while avoiding predictability. At first glance, it situates itself comfortably within its genre, employing recognizable elements such as tension-filled sequences, action-driven moments, and emotionally charged character arcs that fans of the genre expect and enjoy. However, the film does not rely solely on clichés or formulaic beats. Instead, it introduces creative variations and subversions that give the story a unique flavor. For instance, where traditional genre films might follow a straightforward hero versus antagonist structure, Eden often plays with perspective, moral ambiguity, and character motivations, creating situations where the expected outcomes are challenged or complicated, keeping viewers intrigued and invested in the unfolding narrative. Action sequences are executed with a balance of spectacle and narrative purpose, ensuring that stunts, chase scenes, or conflicts serve the story rather than existing purely for visual impact, while suspenseful moments are carefully timed to heighten tension without overwhelming the audience. Humor is integrated organically, often arising from character quirks, situational irony, or clever dialogue, providing relief and contrast in moments of high tension or drama, and helping to humanize characters while maintaining engagement. Drama in the film is grounded in emotional truth, with stakes that feel personal and relatable, even amidst larger-than-life circumstances, which allows the audience to care deeply about the outcomes for each character. Eden also experiments with pacing and tone in ways that refresh the genre, shifting between high-energy sequences, introspective character moments, and narrative revelations in a rhythm that feels dynamic and deliberate, rather than formulaic or predictable. Visual and auditory elements further support genre execution, with cinematography, editing, and soundtrack choices enhancing suspense, highlighting dramatic beats, or amplifying action, ensuring that the stylistic language aligns seamlessly with the genre while also adding originality. Characterization plays a key role in subverting genre expectations. Protagonists and supporting figures are written with complexity and moral ambiguity, resisting the tendency toward one-dimensional archetypes, and creating interactions and conflicts that surprise and engage the audience. Even secondary plotlines and world-building elements contribute to a richer genre experience, adding layers that expand beyond the surface-level conventions and invite viewers to engage more deeply with the narrative world. Overall, Eden 2025 manages a careful balance between honoring the familiar beats that define its genre and introducing innovative elements that make it stand out, blending action, suspense, drama, and humor in ways that feel natural, purposeful, and immersive. It respects the expectations of genre fans while offering enough creativity and originality to keep them guessing, invested, and entertained from beginning to end. Every sequence, tonal shift, and narrative choice reflects a nuanced understanding of genre, allowing the film to both satisfy and surprise its audience, demonstrating skillful execution and imaginative storytelling within its chosen framework. In Eden 2025, the film incorporates social and cultural commentary in ways that feel thoughtful, nuanced, and seamlessly integrated into the narrative, offering more than just entertainment by prompting the audience to reflect on contemporary issues, societal norms, and human behavior. Rather than overtly preaching or inserting heavy-handed messages, the film weaves these themes organically through character interactions, plot developments, and environmental cues, allowing viewers to absorb commentary while remaining immersed in the story. One of the prominent aspects of this commentary is the exploration of societal structures and inequalities, subtly examining how power dynamics, privilege, and social expectations influence individual choices, relationships, and opportunities. Through characters' struggles and conflicts, Eden highlights the tensions between personal ambition and societal pressure, the challenges of ethical decision-making, and the impact of cultural norms on identity and self-expression. The film also touches on issues such as responsibility, moral accountability, and the consequences of actions within broader social contexts, illustrating how decisions made by individuals can resonate beyond their personal lives and affect communities or societal structures. Contemporary cultural topics, like the influence of technology, urbanization, or environmental change, are reflected in the setting, visual design, and narrative arcs, adding subtle depth to the story without disrupting the pacing or entertainment value. Sensitive topics are handled with care and nuance, avoiding sensationalism while still engaging the audience, allowing them to consider ethical dilemmas, personal biases, and broader societal questions in relation to the characters' experiences. Dialogue and interactions often carry layers of meaning, hinting at social commentary without being overt, while visual motifs, production design, and narrative choices reinforce these ideas, creating an immersive world where social and cultural considerations are naturally embedded. The film encourages reflection on human behavior, relationships, and societal structures, making viewers consider not only the story unfolding on screen but also its parallels to real-world issues and ethical questions. By integrating social and cultural themes into the narrative, Eden 2025 achieves a balance between entertainment and thoughtful observation, engaging audiences with meaningful ideas without sacrificing the dynamic pacing, suspense, or emotional resonance of the story. In addition, the film subtly explores generational differences, highlighting the friction between tradition and progress, showing how younger characters navigate inherited cultural expectations while seeking autonomy, and reflecting the ongoing evolution of social norms. Environmental and urban settings are also deliberately chosen to emphasize disparities, showcasing both the privileges and limitations inherent in certain spaces, thereby reinforcing the social commentary visually and contextually. Even minor plot threads, supporting characters, and background interactions contribute to a broader understanding of social dynamics, creating a layered narrative that prompts reflection on how individual actions intersect with cultural forces. In essence, the film's commentary enriches the viewing experience, giving the story an added layer of relevance and prompting viewers to think critically about the world around them, the choices they make, and the impact of societal norms, all while being fully entertained by the unfolding drama, action, and character journeys. Eden 2025 demonstrates that meaningful commentary can be woven naturally into cinematic storytelling, enhancing engagement, empathy, and awareness without ever feeling forced or didactic. In Eden 2025, audience engagement is a central strength, with the film designed to emotionally resonate on multiple levels, capturing attention from the very beginning and maintaining it through a carefully orchestrated balance of drama, tension, humor, and human connection. The narrative invests in characters whose experiences, choices, and struggles feel authentic, making it easy for viewers to empathize with their journeys, celebrate their triumphs, and feel the weight of their failures. There are moments that provoke strong reactions, from heart-pounding action sequences and shocking plot twists to tender, intimate exchanges that elicit laughter, tears, or reflective contemplation. The film skillfully modulates its emotional beats, alternating between high-stakes tension and quieter, introspective moments, allowing the audience to absorb the gravity of events while also experiencing relief, joy, or amusement at the right intervals, keeping engagement high throughout. Dialogue, performances, and situational setups work together to ensure that emotional moments feel earned rather than forced, creating a sense of investment in the story and characters that encourages viewers to care deeply about outcomes. The film also invites curiosity and reflection, presenting dilemmas, mysteries, and thematic questions that linger beyond the viewing experience, encouraging discussion among friends, family, and online communities, and prompting audiences to revisit scenes for a deeper understanding of the narrative or character motivations. Visual storytelling, cinematography, soundtrack, and pacing are all employed to heighten engagement, drawing viewers into the world of Eden in a way that feels immersive and immediate, whether through sweeping action sequences, visually striking moments, or carefully constructed emotional beats. Subtle cues, foreshadowing, and layered narrative elements reward attentive viewing, making repeat viewings a natural inclination for audiences who want to catch nuances or fully appreciate the intricacies of the story. The film also taps into universal emotions and relatable situations, allowing a diverse audience to find personal resonance, whether through themes of identity, relationships, moral choice, or the struggle to overcome adversity. Humor and levity are strategically interspersed, balancing tension while providing characters with depth and relatability, ensuring that moments of engagement are not only emotional but also entertaining. Interactive tension is created through suspenseful sequences, unpredictable character decisions, and moral ambiguity, which keeps audiences on edge and emotionally invested, responding with surprise, anticipation, or even shock as the plot unfolds. Even quieter, subtle scenes are crafted to evoke thought and reflection, drawing attention to character development, symbolic details, or thematic undertones, further deepening engagement and connection. By blending high-stakes spectacle with intimate human moments, Eden 2025 ensures that the audience remains emotionally tethered to the story, experiencing a range of reactions that make the viewing experience dynamic, memorable, and impactful. Ultimately, the film is structured to captivate attention, elicit meaningful emotional responses, and encourage active reflection, discussion, and repeated engagement, making the audience not just passive viewers but participants in a story that resonates long after the credits roll. In Eden 2025, comparisons to similar films in its genre, as well as to the director's previous work, reveal both the ways it aligns with familiar conventions and the ways it sets itself apart with fresh ideas and inventive storytelling. Within its genre, the film shares certain recognizable elements, such as character archetypes, plot structure, and suspenseful pacing, that fans would expect, providing a sense of comfort and familiarity, yet it does not rely solely on these conventions. What distinguishes Eden is its ability to take these familiar beats and expand upon them, integrating complex character development, nuanced moral dilemmas, and layered social commentary that elevate it above formulaic genre entries. Unlike some contemporaries that prioritize spectacle over substance, Eden balances action, emotion, and thematic resonance, allowing the audience to engage deeply with both the characters and the narrative world. In terms of franchise comparisons, if there are films with similar settings or premises, Eden differentiates itself through its attention to character arcs and narrative structure, avoiding predictable tropes by presenting unexpected plot turns, morally ambiguous decisions, and multifaceted relationships that feel grounded and real rather than exaggerated or cartoonish. For viewers familiar with the director's previous work, Eden demonstrates an evolution in style and approach, showcasing more sophisticated visual storytelling, richer world-building, and a more seamless integration of technical elements such as cinematography, visual effects, and sound design. The director's signature touches, whether in pacing, tone, or thematic exploration, are present, but they are developed further here, resulting in a film that feels both recognizably theirs and distinctively innovative. Compared to other films in its genre, Eden also distinguishes itself through the careful layering of multiple cinematic elements, dialogue, music, production design, and character interaction, that work together to create a fully immersive experience rather than a series of isolated set pieces. The film's handling of emotional beats and audience engagement sets it apart from peers, generating moments of genuine tension, laughter, or reflection that linger long after the screen goes dark. Additionally, Eden's visual and thematic choices give it a distinct identity, using setting, color, and symbolism in ways that both honor genre conventions and push creative boundaries, offering a fresh perspective even to seasoned viewers. By simultaneously satisfying expectations and challenging them with inventive storytelling, complex characters, and a layered narrative, Eden 2025 manages to stand out among similar films while still providing the thrills, excitement, and familiarity that genre fans enjoy. It can be seen as a bridge between tradition and innovation, paying homage to established genre hallmarks while carving out its own space as a memorable, distinctive cinematic experience. Every element, from story structure to character complexity to technical execution, works in tandem to ensure that Eden not only competes with its contemporaries but also adds a unique voice to the ongoing conversation about what the genre can achieve, creating a viewing experience that is both familiar and refreshingly original. In Eden 2025, symbolism and metaphor play a critical role in enriching the narrative, providing deeper layers of meaning that reward attentive viewers and add a compelling intellectual and emotional dimension to the film. From the visual design of key locations to recurring objects, colors, and gestures, the filmmakers embed subtle cues that reflect characters' internal struggles, broader themes, and moral dilemmas, creating a tapestry of meaning beneath the surface action. For example, recurring imagery such as shifting light patterns, broken mirrors, or environmental contrasts often mirror the psychological or moral states of characters, signaling internal conflict, transformation, or uncertainty without the need for explicit dialogue. Objects or props are used metaphorically to represent relationships, personal growth, or societal pressures, turning seemingly ordinary items into symbols that deepen audience understanding of the story. Certain visual motifs, like doors, thresholds, or pathways, serve as metaphors for choice, opportunity, and the consequences of decisions, subtly reinforcing the narrative's exploration of human agency and moral complexity. Colors are also used intentionally to convey emotional tones or thematic resonance. Warm tones may signify hope, connection, or optimism, while colder or muted palettes highlight isolation, danger, or ethical ambiguity, immersing viewers in the emotional landscape of each scene. Symbolism extends to the film's character arcs, with actions, repeated behaviors, or specific interactions reflecting larger ideas such as resilience, personal responsibility, or societal constraint. Even the interplay between nature and urban settings is layered with metaphorical significance, emphasizing contrasts between freedom and limitation, chaos and order, or tradition and progress, which resonate with the film's thematic concerns. Dialogue and situational setups also contain symbolic weight, with certain phrases, questions, or decisions functioning as metaphors for broader human experiences or philosophical reflections, encouraging the audience to interpret multiple layers of meaning simultaneously. The careful placement of visual and narrative cues ensures that symbolism never feels forced or artificial. Instead, it emerges naturally from the story and enhances immersion, making viewers feel like active participants in uncovering deeper insights. Subtle visual metaphors are complemented by narrative repetition and parallels, such as mirrored situations between characters or echoing plot developments, which reinforce central themes and create a cohesive symbolic framework across the film. By integrating symbolism and metaphor so seamlessly into both the visual and narrative elements, Eden 2025 encourages reflection on identity, morality, human connection, and the consequences of choices, transforming the viewing experience from simple entertainment into a richer, more layered exploration of meaning. Audiences are invited to interpret, question, and connect these recurring motifs to both character journeys and thematic concerns, creating a dynamic interplay between what is seen on the surface and what is suggested beneath it. The effect is a film that resonates on multiple levels, where every detail, object, or repeated image contributes to storytelling, enhances emotional impact, and reinforces the moral and philosophical threads woven throughout the narrative, making Eden 2025 an experience that rewards careful observation and thoughtful engagement. In Eden 2025, whether viewed as part of a larger narrative universe or in relation to historical or cultural context, the film demonstrates a careful consideration of its place within a broader storytelling or temporal framework, adding depth and resonance to the viewing experience. If the film is part of a franchise or series, it contributes meaningfully to the overarching narrative by expanding the universe, exploring new character arcs, and filling in story gaps that enrich previously established lore. New characters, settings, and plot threads are introduced in ways that feel both organic and significant, ensuring continuity while adding fresh layers that maintain audience interest. Returning characters are developed further, their decisions and growth reflecting the cumulative impact of earlier events, while new dynamics are explored that deepen relationships, challenge established norms, or reveal previously unseen motivations. The film strikes a balance between satisfying longtime fans with familiar elements and providing enough innovation to attract newcomers, ensuring that both engagement and narrative coherence are maintained. Storylines interweave with previous installments subtly, offering callbacks, references, or thematic parallels that reward attentive viewers and create a sense of ongoing evolution in the franchise. If Eden 2025 is approached as a historical film or one grounded in real-world contexts, the production pays close attention to accuracy, immersion, and authenticity, using detailed sets, period-appropriate costumes, and meticulously researched cultural, political, or social references to transport the audience convincingly to the depicted time period or event. Historical or cultural nuances are reflected not only in visual design but also in dialogue, character behavior, and societal interactions, allowing viewers to gain insight into the period's norms, challenges, and ethos. The film is careful to present these elements in a way that enhances the narrative without overwhelming it, blending factual accuracy with creative storytelling that remains compelling and entertaining. Cinematography, production design, and music all work together to evoke the era, mood, and atmosphere, creating an immersive experience that feels both vivid and credible, while plot and character decisions are aligned with the historical or narrative context to maintain authenticity and coherence. Eden 2025 also highlights the ripple effects of historical events or prior narrative developments, demonstrating how context shapes character behavior, societal structures, and story stakes, which adds depth and makes the unfolding drama feel grounded and consequential. Whether considered as a franchise installment or a historically inspired film, the movie excels at situating itself within a broader framework, using continuity, research, and attention to detail to create a layered, immersive experience. By linking the narrative to a larger context, be it fictional lore, historical timeline, or cultural background, the film enriches the audience's understanding of character motivations, thematic resonance, and plot significance, ensuring that every decision, relationship, and action carries weight and contributes to a cohesive, engaging whole. Ultimately, Eden 2025 demonstrates that awareness of its franchise or historical context not only strengthens storytelling but also deepens audience engagement, allowing viewers to appreciate both the immediate narrative and its place within a larger, evolving story world. In Eden 2025, the discussion of budget and box office performance offers an insightful look into how financial investment translates into production quality, audience appeal, and overall market impact. The film's budget, whether modest or substantial, is reflected in the meticulous attention to detail across every department, from set design and costumes to visual effects, cinematography, and sound design, demonstrating that resources were effectively allocated to enhance storytelling and create an immersive viewing experience. Higher budget sequences, such as large-scale action scenes, elaborate set pieces, or visually ambitious effects, show a clear return on investment in terms of spectacle and technical finesse, while even smaller, intimate scenes benefit from careful production choices that maintain authenticity and emotional resonance. The box office performance of Eden 2025 reflects a combination of factors including audience anticipation, franchise or director reputation, marketing strategy, and critical reception. Marketing campaigns, whether through trailers, social media engagement, or promotional appearances, created buzz that influenced initial turnout, while word of mouth, reviews, and audience reactions continue to impact earnings in subsequent weeks. The film's ability to balance creative ambition with commercial appeal is notable, as strong performances, compelling storytelling, and technical excellence work together to sustain audience interest, leading to higher ticket sales and repeat viewings. In some cases, audience engagement with specific elements, such as standout action sequences, memorable dialogue, or thematic depth, can directly influence box office performance by encouraging discussion, recommendations, and social media traction. Eden's financial outcome also reflects industry trends, competing releases, and seasonal timing, showing how external factors beyond production quality can influence success. Additionally, merchandising, digital streaming rights, and international distribution contribute to the overall financial picture, demonstrating that box office earnings are only part of a multifaceted commercial strategy. Comparing budget allocation to visual and narrative impact, it becomes clear that Eden 2025 leveraged its resources efficiently, creating a cinematic experience that looks and feels premium, even in sequences where costs might have been carefully managed or optimized. Strategic use of practical effects versus CGI, location selection, and investment in the cast and technical crew all contribute to a production quality that rivals films with higher budgets, highlighting intelligent planning and resource management. Audience reception, in turn, directly affects the financial trajectory. Enthusiastic reactions, online engagement, and critical discourse can amplify a film's reach and longevity, sometimes transforming moderate initial earnings into sustained success. Conversely, unexpected critiques, market saturation, or competing releases may influence box office numbers despite strong production values. Eden 2025 illustrates the complex interplay between financial input, creative execution, and audience response, demonstrating that careful budgeting, strategic marketing, and high-quality production can combine to produce both a visually compelling film and a commercially viable one. Overall, examining the budget and box office performance provides insight into how the film navigates the practical realities of the entertainment industry while delivering an experience that resonates with audiences, reflects creative ambition, and maintains a balance between commercial considerations and artistic storytelling. In Eden 2025, where and how to watch the film plays a major role in how audiences experience its full impact, and the viewing platform can significantly shape engagement, immersion, and emotional connection. For those seeking the most visceral and dynamic experience, watching Eden on the big screen in theaters is often the preferred option, as the expansive visuals, immersive sound design, and carefully crafted cinematography are showcased to their fullest. In a theater, sweeping action sequences, intricate visual effects, and subtle production design details become more vivid, and the sound mix, ranging from quiet, tension-filled moments to booming climactic sequences, can be felt as much as heard, enhancing the intensity of the experience. Shared reactions from fellow audience members, including laughter, gasps, and applause, add an additional layer of engagement, making the viewing feel like a communal event and heightening emotional investment. For audiences who prefer the comfort and convenience of home viewing, streaming platforms or digital rentals offer flexibility, allowing viewers to watch at their own pace while still appreciating the narrative, performances, and technical elements. High-definition streaming services, especially when paired with a quality home theater setup, can replicate much of the cinematic experience, particularly with larger screens, surround sound systems, or high-quality headphones that capture the richness of the score, sound effects, and dialogue clarity. Digital rentals also offer the advantage of pausing, rewatching, or analyzing specific sequences, which can deepen appreciation for symbolic imagery, thematic subtleties, or technical craftsmanship. For those exploring mobile or tablet viewing, Eden remains accessible, though the impact of large-scale visuals or nuanced sound design may be diminished. However, the story, performances, and dialogue remain fully engaging, allowing for a portable, on-the-go experience. Depending on audience preference, watching in a quiet, focused environment with minimal distractions can also enhance engagement, particularly for moments of emotional resonance, plot twists, or character-driven drama, ensuring that subtle details and foreshadowing are not missed. The film's availability across multiple formats, cinemas, streaming platforms, and digital rental, ensures that a wide audience can access it according to their lifestyle and viewing habits, while each platform offers distinct advantages. Theaters for spectacle and communal excitement, streaming for flexibility and comfort, and digital rental for repeat viewing or detailed analysis. Additionally, the timing of release on various platforms can influence the way audiences perceive the film. Initial theatrical releases often generate heightened anticipation and cultural buzz, while later streaming availability allows for more measured, reflective viewing, discussion, and engagement over time. Eden 2025's design and storytelling cater to these different viewing modes, with technical precision, visual grandeur, and emotional depth that can be appreciated across multiple formats, making the film both versatile and impactful. Ultimately, the best way to watch Eden depends on the audience's goals, whether to fully immerse in its audiovisual spectacle, study its narrative and thematic layers, or enjoy a convenient and intimate experience, but each mode ensures that the story, characters, and cinematic artistry are accessible and engaging. If you enjoyed this video and would like us to provide reviews of every kind of movie, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.